What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. Listen, December 19th, Caleb Plant versus Canelo Alvarez. Now I want to go back on something because I want people to understand. For one, everybody has the right to want to see whatever fight they want to see. What I don't think we have the right to do is shoot down people for wanting to see certain fights, especially with people who are in that position where they're good enough to fight and compete and they're as deserving as the next person, okay? Especially a fight we've never seen before. Now, personally, I've been wanting to see Canelo versus Jamal or Jamel Charlo. But at the same time, it's not like I'm exclusively it has to be that fight or nothing at all. Okay. I wanted to see him fight Benavidez instead of fighting Kovalev. But it is what it is. Caleb Plant's name doesn't come up as, to me, I feel like Caleb Plant is a exceptional fighter that just doesn't get recognition. Anytime Caleb Plant's name comes up against the other top guys, people always sell him short. Now, I'll say this. Canelo chose him. Now, the funny thing is, people accuse the Charlos both of ducking Canelo. Now it's the other way around, and they're saying Canelo's ducking everybody else. And boxing is very fickle. 1 minute the fans are cheering you, the next minute they're booing you. Canelo has been doing some suspect things. I definitely would say that, in his challengers, like people that he chose to fight. But I think Caleb Plant is definitely a worthy opponent. Now, how the fight play out, I just want to see what's going to happen. I think that's a great fight, and I want to see it. Now, for people that's saying, oh, but he's fighting Caleb Plant because he don't want to fight Benavidez, or he don't want to fight this guy, that guy. Well, remember this vote that they had about it was Canelo and different guys fighting, and it was, I forget the guy name that he was supposed to fight for the vacant title that Benavidez, was stripped of for not making weight. And I felt like, okay, you went to 175, you didn't fight Benavidez. You said you're not staying at 175. You went up there just to fight Kovalev, to have an accomplishment, another, name under your belt, another victory under your belt. But then, as soon as they announced this tournament, this, this poll for the two that they would select would fight each other for that vacant title. All of a sudden, now you're willing to go back up to 175. Yeah, I can understand people questioning that as well. Okay, and I looked at that and said, yeah, it's Canelo. That definitely looks suspect. But it's like, okay, I know I can beat this guy. Let me go back to 175, win another title, boost my resume up by beating, another meatball. So at the end of the day, he's fighting a worthy opponent in Caleb Plant. And I'd rather see him fight Caleb Plant than to go fight just some meatball that's put in a position for a title that definitely shouldn't even be in the ring with him. I think it's a good fight. Okay. I think it's a good fight. December 19th. The good thing is we got some fights lined up, good fights lined up. So boxing is like, at least we're getting these fights, man. I mean, let's be real. We keep looking for these guys to fight, these big names to keep stepping up and making their presence felt. So when we get the fights, let's not shoot the fight down. Let's not get it and then say, oh man, he should be fighting the Charlos and that's it. Or he should look, you guys are saying the same thing about, Demetrius Andrade. Oh, that's the fight that they should have. I don't want to see nobody else but those two because blah, blah, blah. Look, we're getting elite level fighters from these divisions that's stepping up, that's fighting. Even if you think that Canelo will beat Caleb Plant, you don't think Caleb Plant is a worthy opponent? Then if Caleb Plant is not worthy, then, I mean, seriously, when should that fight actually take place? I think that fight is a good fight. I don't know who's on the undercard. And to be perfectly honest with you, it's a fight that I'm actually surprised that that fight is happening. It's November. I'm surprised that fight is happening so fast because Canelo was going through his thing with the zone. That doesn't mean he wasn't training, but Caleb Plant is no pushover. And basically, before the year's out, most people are expected to go and fight just a soft touch, just to get a fight in before the new year. And this is not happening. So I commend both fighters for stepping up to take this fight, because you always hear fighters say, I didn't have to take this fight, I could have fought somebody else. And when they say that, they're usually talking about a lesser fighter. So I don't respect when fighters say that, because if you're going to say I didn't have to take this fight, well, why would you not want to fight the best fighters? You can't avoid the best fighters and then go and say, well, I'm the best, I would beat this guy, I want this guy, and then don't fight him. I hate when fighters, I ain't gonna let me rephrase that. I don't hate it, doesn't bother me at all. I don't think it's right when fighters, I think that's a coward move. It's a clout chasing move when you say people's name and talk about what you do to them, and they're not on your level, but then you won't fight them. So I'm glad that this fight is happening. Now, the winner of this fight, do they go on and fight Jamal Charlo? Because this fight is at middleweight. This is 160. Do they fight Jamal Charlo? Do they fight Demetrius Andrade? What do they do? So we have to see. It's one fight at a time, but I'm not skipping past this fight. I'm just saying, when that fight, and of course December 19th. So the Charlos just fought a couple months ago. If that was to happen, we'd probably be looking at January, February, somewhere in March. Probably looking at somewhere in March for Canelo and Charlo, if that was the fight, or Caleb Plant and Charlo. It'd probably be somewhere around there. But yeah, I think it's a good fight. I think it's a real good fight. And I just want to see the outcome. I want to enjoy the fight. And I'm glad that that fight is happening. So, look, that's all I'm going to say on this video. I will catch y'all on the next one.